So excited to be here with you guys. Let me remove this as well. This is going to be a really great workshop for those of you who are looking to just learn better form, learn how to get more out of what you're already doing in the gym, or perhaps make tweaks to what you're doing in the gym. And also, if you are doing your own workouts, I just give a good foundational outline of here's how to make sure what you're doing is really set to achieve what you're wanting. Great. Okay. So I'm actually going to be showing you ladies some videos, and I will introduce myself in just a sec. But I just kind of want to outline the expectations here. So I'm going to be showing you some different videos I took yesterday of different postures and form. I was going to film this live in the gym, but in the past it's been a little bit distracting. And so I wanted to be able to just talk really clearly with you ladies, but also show you in the gym, what that would look like. Some of these things, if you are more on the beginner side or beginner intermediate, it might be hard to see, right? It's minor tweaks with the shoulders, minor tweaks with the elbows. And so no shame if that's you. If you're like, I don't see the difference. Just comment. Let's talk through it. Because if you have a question, if you have a comment, please share. I really encourage you to do that. Let's learn together, right? I'm not talking at you. I'm here to just engage with you to give you tools so you can get better results. You guys are here putting forth the effort. It's amazing. I honor and respect that and you and your time. And so I'm going to just dive right in and make this as valuable as possible for you. Great. If you'd like to share your goals, please do. If you want to share, I've been lifting for this long. These are my goals. This is what I'm experiencing right now. Please do. It's a great space to meet other women who are going through something similar, right? I'm going to keep my focus on you as much as I can, but I will answer questions at the end. So drop all your questions. If you're here on the replay, #replay, drop your questions or comments, and then I will respond. So for this week through, let's say Friday at midnight Pacific time, let's say the 5 people who are most engaged with commenting, with engaging with each other, answering questions like that I asked, or just in general, just showing up. The 5 women who are most engaged, I'll gift you a macros course. It's awesome. It's designed to take anyone, whether you know nothing or whether you're a master and you're like, but there's always tips, right? From beginner to that person, all the way through, so many different tips to make tracking as a lifestyle easy, enjoyable, fun, realistic, but really while we're creating a healthier lifestyle. So it's not a diet. We use it as a tool to achieve a higher quality of life and the body that we want because it feels good to feel comfortable in our skin. So the top 5 women who engage, I'll gift you that course, and I'll gift it on Monday. Gotta take the weekends off, we gotta have that balance. Okay, great. So my name's Kristen. I'm so happy to have you ladies here. Wonderful. Please keep commenting. It's so great to have you here. I've been a trainer and nutritionist for coming on 12 years now. This has been my only career actually as an adult. Well, I was active duty military for 4.5 years, and I did different jobs within that. But one of my jobs was to create nutrition courses and teach them nutrition. We run their fitness tests, right? Run different fitness programs, that type of thing. And so I've been through so many different types of people with training. And the person that I love to train is the woman who typically has done many different things. It could be many different diets. It could be, I wasn't healthy before, but now I am. But gosh, I'm plateaued. I've gotten myself, this far. Or just the person who really is dedicated. They're doing the things, they're learning the things. I mean, it takes time, right? You don't have to be perfect, but just that person that's like, I'm here to put in the work, but what do I do? What is it that I do to actually achieve these goals long term and sustain them, maintain them, rather than it's always a goal out there. What? Right? Let's achieve them. So that's typically the type of person that I just really love to work with because the impact is huge. I have my bachelor's degree in exercise and sports science and my master's in international business. And I was an in-person trainer for about 6 years, and I've been fully online for about 3 years now, coming on 3-year anniversary. And I do work in multiple countries, primarily the US and the UK. So I see a lot of ladies from the US and the UK in here. Welcome. And from everywhere. It's amazing. Scotland, everywhere. So great to have you ladies. Let's see, what else? So I've competed before in fitness competitions. I actually did in South Korea. But my main purpose really is to teach women how to take care of their body in a healthy and sustainable way. How to become really fit, have more energy, more mental clarity in a healthy and sustainable way. How to love the skin they're in, love the body that they see in the mirror. Really hone in what are the foundational habits that I need that fit with my lifestyle while creating a healthier lifestyle to get my body to where I want to go. That's what I like to do. Okay, great. If you have any questions, just let me know. I've just quick thing on education as well. Tons of certifications. Olympic weightlifting, corrective exercise, physique training, of course, like body shaping, performance nutrition, Les Mills group fitness classes, yoga. I'm just finishing that one. I've actually done hypnotherapy as well, lots of breath work, mindset coaching. So this is my jam, ladies. I love to help women in this. Okay, great. So the purpose and the mission, and my notes are below, which is well, I'll keep popping down. But the purpose and the mission today is to, I hope my internet's going good. The purpose and the mission today, like I said, is to really help you ladies get the best results for the time that you have. So to make sure that you're getting the most out of your lifts, okay? Great. So first bullet. So we're going to go through 3 problems today. And the first one is uncover how to advance your lifting technique to see better results in the gym. So here are some problems that you may be experiencing. Now I'm going to pop my phone in here. For some of you, this may be a bit of a refresher, and I encourage you to potentially, depending how, what type of personality you are, I encourage you to humble thyself and be okay with learning the basics again, just to double check yourself. We all need it. Sometimes when I film my form, I'm like, whoops, got a little complacent, didn't even realize it. So it's always good to double check ourselves. So the very first reason women aren't getting great results in the gym is technique, their form, right? Just proper posture. I'm going to take you through a video. It will be pretty quick. I'm going to voice it to you as it's playing. This will be available for replay, so you can rewatch it. This is proper posture for every exercise you ever do and for the rest of your life. Sitting, everything. It is proper posture. So it's amazing and so worth it to take the time to learn it. Great. Okay, so your feet, and I would encourage you to stand up and go ahead and do this right now with us. And then let's comment and let me know how you feel. And if you feel like a robot and like it's awkward, don't worry about it. It's normal. The more you practice it, the more it's like, okay, I can align my body. All right. So your feet are your jump stance. So where you would comfortably jump from, that's where we want your feet. This is also where you have your feet for your deadlifts, your rows, and any other movement where you're standing, right? Other than like a squat. Great. Your knees are softly bent. Just a micro bend. Okay. Your pelvis. I want you to wiggle your pelvis around. You can think of tucking your tail under, and then sticking your butt out to the wall. No, let me rewind it. Tucking your tail under, sticking your butt out to the wall. Women who struggle with RDLs and deadlifts, oftentimes their pelvis is jammed. They're not sure really how to move it separate from their body. So this is a great thing to practice. And then with your pelvis, go ahead and find a neutral position, somewhere that feels comfortable. I personally would recommend a slight anterior tilt. So the front of your pelvis, bring it down. So lift your booty up just a little. I find that most women, when they think they're neutral, they're actually slightly tucked. And so I want you to think about just sticking your butt out just a teeny bit. Great. Next is exhale your air. Push your ribs down to your pelvis. And you can think about bringing your belly button to your spine. Okay, so you're getting your abs nice and strong. If someone punched you in the stomach, you wouldn't collapse. There would be something there. Okay, if you don't have very much muscle there, there's still something there to brace. Okay, so think of that as you ask the question, is this right? Okay. I want you to next pull your chest up to the ceiling. Pull your chest up to the ceiling, lifting it high. This is a great posture to practice in meditation for confidence, right? If you're experiencing self sabotage or fear of authenticity, or what is that one? Imposter syndrome. Open your chest up wide and be, right? Allow you to take up space, but it also helps instead of here, right? We're opening our chest up and bringing our shoulders out nice and wide. Okay? Great. We'll see in that video there. Shoulders squeeze together slightly and drop your shoulder blades down to the ground. Crown is lifted up to the ceiling. So bring your head as close to the ceiling as you can. This is also going to help decompress your spine. And lastly, tuck your chin back just a little bit. Oftentimes our head is pushed forward, and so tuck your chin back just a little bit. So I want you to see how upright my posture is here. How does this feel? Who's doing this right now? Please drop and share how this feels. For most, it feels crazy. It feels stiff and it feels robotic, but it's because we're so used to slouching, right? Let's see. Yeah, Brandy, I literally feel like I'm stretching out my abs. I love it. Someone else said awkward. Definitely. Imagine walking like this. It feels strange. It feels weird. It feels strange. Yes. The more, oh, having trouble with hips and core. And Morgan, if you want to share more of what you mean, I'll pop in at the end of this and I'll talk you through different strategies and see if I can help you there as well. Feels unnatural. Yes, because we've made kind of slouching, right, typing on the computer, improper posture the normal. So our body over time just slowly has been going down, right? So if you open your chest, you might find it really tight. And it's because we're rolled forward so often. And so I think a great practice would be to go through this posture alignment every morning, and especially before you work out, before your lifts, because this is going to protect your body, put you in a very safe position to lift, but it's also going to make sure that you're using the right muscle groups for, or the right muscles for whatever lift that you're wanting to do. Great. Allison, it feels weird. Luckily, I can close my office door to avoid the stares from coworkers. I hear that. That is too funny. Good for you for taking care of your health and wellness, even though maybe not everyone understands it. Okay. Now, for the sake of time, I'm going to keep going because literally I have to do this all day. So I'm going to just stay focused. Okay, beautiful. Well, thank you for doing that with me. I think that's really powerful that you did that. Even showing right now, committed to process. It's wonderful for your body. Okay, so now remember, this is lifting posture. This is lifting form. So I think it's this video. I started moving. Oh, I was showing you here. This is, you want to think about like slightly holding a wide shoe between your shoulder blades. You're not crimped, right? But you're engaged. Now, I'm just walking through a few different movements, showing you ladies, same exact movement. Abs are tight. Pelvis is in the right position. Chest is open. Back is engaged. Chin is back, right? I'm not pushing my belly forward in a shoulder press. We'll talk about that one. I see that one all the time. Thumbs up. Okay, cool. All right, so here's another problem why you may not be seeing better results is doing the same thing over and over and over and over. Our bodies and our central nervous system is amazing at adapting. Amazing at adapting. Whoops. Sorry, ladies, just being crazy over here. So if you're not giving it a challenge, changing up the stimuli, doing something different, but in a strategized way, it's going to adapt. You're going to cut your results short. You'll still sweat. You'll still get a good workout, what it feels like. But what is it actually achieving, right? And so that's what we're really honing into today is it's so much more than just exercise. What is it actually achieving? Okay, great. If you have any questions, pop them in. All right. The next one, you're not engaged. A problem if you're not achieving the best results. And let me get a new video here. Is you're not engaging the right muscles. Some ladies, women, I'm learning to change my verbiage from ladies to women. Some women say, I'm not sore. I'm working what I think is my quads, but I'm not really sore. So what's up? Oftentimes, and I feel like almost every time, I find that it's the mind muscle connection is not there, or you're just not engaging the right muscles. And it could be because you're not lifting with the right posture often. And it can be you just might not be at the level to the point where you know how to squeeze into the muscles as you lift. Okay. This is the progression that I have found in every single woman I've ever trained. I've trained over 500 women. This was true for every single one, and actually true for myself. This was what happened. So you've never lifted before. You start lifting. So much technique to think about. You're thinking about posture. You're thinking about, okay, it's deadlift. Wait, my hips go up. I'm doing this. Like you have to think of the technicality, right, of the movement. What are you actually doing? That's first. Once you master that form, posture, technique, then you start to learn, oh, oh, okay. Now I feel it in the left side of my quad. Oh, but if I slightly move my foot like this, now I feel it more in the center of my quad. But if I do this, oh, now I feel it in the outside. So this whole world opens up of where am I feeling it in my body, in my glute, in my shoulder, right? And so then we spend a lot of time there learning our body, learning what works, right? So if you're still in the I don't know if I'm sore. I don't know if I'm working the right muscles. I don't know if I'm squeezing the right muscles. That's okay. You're going to learn a lot here. You're going to learn a lot here. Okay. Great. All right. So the next one. Okay. So the next problem I see, we're going to keep going back, not engaging the right muscles. Okay. So the next part of this, I'm going to show you lat pull down. I'm going to show you when someone's doing a lat pull down with their arms, which I have had many women come to me and say, I've been lifting for years. I totally know how to do this. And I have them send videos of their lifts. I want to make sure people are lifting with proper form, getting the best benefit, out of what they're doing. And I say, you're not using your back. You're not engaging your back. You're just engaging your back. So like, what do you mean? Right? Someone who really believes they're a great lifter has just never been taught that. So I want to teach you today. Okay. So I grab the bar and I'm going to just bring these down a little bit too for those of you who are beginners. So I grab the bar, right? And actually, I wanted to show you from the beginning. So I grab the bar and then I sit down. Then, bam, did you see that? Then you put your shoulder blades down into position, just like we did with the form ladies when you were standing, right? You brought your shoulders away from ears and you slightly back together. Same thing in here. Same thing. So I have the bar, pulling my shoulder blades down, squeeze them together. Okay. Look, I'm a trainer. I'm gonna really break this down, okay? If you're like, move on, just tell me and I will move on. It's so important to break this down. Okay, cool. Then my shoulders are in position. I exhale down, create tension in my abs. Do an inhale, but laterally. Let me quickly show you this, okay? So let's say you have the weight. Exhale all the air out. Then watch laterally. Did you see how it expanded laterally? So you're creating pressure. So if someone punched you, there's no fold, right? It would move your whole. So difference if it's not laterally, you could be belly breathing or chest breathing. Okay. So exhale. You can put your hands here and push against your hands, and that creates that internal pressure, which protects your spine and puts you in proper position to lift. Okay? Right. Good. Then you can exhale during the hardest part. I'll stop there with the breathing. Drop any questions. We'll talk through it. Now, notice I'm keeping my shoulders down away from my ears. For more advanced women, if you want to bring your scapula out of position at the top for more range, totally fine, but get yourself back into position before you pull. Otherwise, you're putting your shoulder in a compromised position. Okay, so think about your shoulder cavity here. Okay, here's your arm, right? So when your shoulder blades are down and in position, your shoulder is gliding beautifully. But if your shoulders are hiked up, not only are you training your neck now, which we don't want huge necks, you've smashed your shoulder up into there and it's grinding. And that can cause injury. We need to be down and in position. Okay, great. Bringing the bar to your chin as if you were doing a pull up, not to your breasts, down as if you're doing a pull up. Okay. This is what it looks like improper posture. So this is not correct posture. My shoulders are hiked up. I'm only using my arms. I'm not even engaging my back now. It has totally taken the work out of my back, and now it's in my shoulder in a dangerous way, and I'm just using my arms. And so I said, drop your shoulders and then pull. Okay, cool. All right, let me know what questions you have. I'm going to keep going. It's going to move fast, but we're going to keep going. So I just wanted to quickly show you what it looked like in the mid back when my back is working. My shoulders are down in position. My back is working. You can see right around the vertical strap of my sports bra, it's squeezing together, right? And let me show you. These muscles right here, right? These are my lats. Because my grip is a little bit wider, it's also going to work my lats. If you wanted more mid back, bring your arms in closer to shoulder width apart. Okay, great. But the point of this was you can see my back working. Now, because obviously I have a lot of muscle, my muscle moves, but you can see the mid back, it doesn't have that full squeeze as much as it did prior because my back is hardly working. My scapula is moving because of the movement, right? But it's my arms that are taking the work, which they should be secondary movers instead of my back. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Great. Okay, cool, ladies. All right, I'm going to keep on rolling, but I love the comments. Keep them coming, keep the questions coming, and I'll come back to all of them. Okay, great. Yeah, so I wanted to stay here just a couple more exercises with the problem being not engaging the right muscles. Okay, and so not engaging the right muscles typically, like I said, comes down to form, right? And so for the lat pull down, it was your shoulder blades weren't down and in position. So they need to be in position so you can be squeezing your back instead of keeping your back out of the picture. The next one we're going to go through is it's actually 3 different movement patterns. So if I'm laying down, we're going to do the chest fly. We're going to do, and that goes for lying, seated, 45-degree, it doesn't matter. It's all the exact same form, which is so cool because it's not like we have to learn a language for every exercise, right? Every exercise is actually the same in terms of form and posture. So, I mean, like, seriously, what a blessing, right? So, right now, we're going to do the chest fly, which in another way, we're going to do a dumbbell lateral raise, right? Same movement-ish, right? We're moving at the shoulder joint, okay? And what was the other one I was going to show you? Yeah, those. Okay, all right. So the biggest problem I see all the time is your elbow comes into play. Get your elbow out of the ball game, okay? These types of movements, lateral raise, chest flies, rear delt fly. These types of movements must happen at the shoulder joint because it's working the shoulder or the chest. If you start putting the elbow in there, you're going to start using your bicep and your tricep, and you're going to change the intent of the exercise. Right. So this is what it looks like moving at my shoulder joint. My elbow is rock solid. It is. Let's see. Oh, I'm laughing. So maybe that was the wrong one. I was doing these in front of people and I'm like, oh my gosh, people are just watching me, do this improper form. I'm like, what do they think? Okay. So I was actually showing chest engagement. That's why I was laughing. Okay. So, like I said, moving at the shoulder joint, elbow, your whole arm is rock solid. In a line is your wrist, your knuckles. We're not here. Rock freaking solid. Okay. Slight bend in the elbow, but rock solid. Okay. Now, when you chest fly or anything like that, it's this here. Don't worry, ladies. Let me just strip for you right now. But I'm like, you got to see the muscles. Okay. So it's this muscle right here that we're working in a chest fly. Okay, so it's pushed up right now. But what I see happening is women are just moving their arms. So look at this muscle actually isn't even on right now. I'm just moving my arm. Whereas when it's on, you're squeezing, your chest is up and it's hard. Okay, so I just showed you that instead of the video. That was the intent of that. Cool. I'm going to keep going because I realize I have so much to share and I'm like, it's already 27 minutes in. Okay, great. So this is the last one here with form and posture. So a bent over row. Okay, this one is also commonly done just with the arms and no back. Okay, so it's the exact same thing. Get your shoulder blades down and in position. So you're using your back. So let's see. It's sometimes it is hard to tell the difference because it's so similar. It's so similar. I don't think you guys will probably be able to. Yeah, this is the one. I'm just not even using my back. It's just not engaging. It's just kind of there. Okay. But truly what we want to be doing is squeezing our back together with every rep. Okay, good. All right. So let's pause this. Let me see what's next. Okay. All right. How is everyone doing? Give me like a thumbs up or like a high five or a fire. Like, how are you doing right now? Are you guys following me? Um, do you just need like a quick bathroom break and a sip of coffee? Maybe I'll have a sip of coffee. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Good. So good. Good stuff. Thumbs up. Good. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful, you guys. Wonderful. Wonderful. Keep them coming. Okay. Beautiful. Any questions again? Pop it in. I'll come back. Okay, great. Here is the next. Here, I'm like looking at the camera. I'm like, I kind of look naked. Let me put my shirt back on. And I'll look at these comments really quick. Is the back supposed to be flat with the bent over row? Here, I'll just answer that really quick. Is the back supposed to be flat? Are you talking about at a 90 degree? I think you're probably talking about Allison. Are you talking about 90 degree or 45 or something like that? So it depends. There's a lot of different variations. This is great. Some people's hamstrings just don't have the mobility to do that. I typically go down to about a 30. But I would say that, I would say at least a 45. But other than that, it's probably personal preference. I'm comparing to RDL form. Okay, this is the only scroll I'll go on because I could go on a lot of scrolls. Okay, so here's the thing. With your RDL, are you doing a hamstring focused RDL or are you doing a glute focused RDL? Because I'm questioning if you're you're doing a glute focused cardio because if that's here, right? About, oh, okay, sorry, my camera's, it is what it is. So that's here. The problem with being in this position is most women pull up. Probably 8 times out of 10, I see this happening. People pull up. And so I say, lift your hips to the ceiling, drop your chest over a bit more, and pull back towards your belly button. And this engages the back so much better. Okay, let me know if you have questions on that. That's a great question. Okay, cool. All right, lovelies. What do we got next? Next, oh yeah, this is one of my favorites. It's so funny. Half reps. This is what I call them. I call them half reps. Now, it depends on your intent. If you are powerlifting, this does not apply to you. Okay. If you are doing CrossFit, this does not apply to you. This applies to those who want to build and shape their body. Okay. Yes, Allison, that's a great question. Okay. Greater range of movement allows for greater stretch in the muscle, which allows for a longer contraction. Okay. Pushing weight through more time, so a bigger contraction and a longer stretch is going to give you better results, right? You're putting more stress on the muscle. It's going to be forced to break down more. And of course, then it repairs and grows. So I'm going to show you. This is, yep, there it is. I see this one all the time. This is a half of a rep. This is a half of a rep. There's so much more space for the delt to stretch, right? We're primarily working the anterior delt in a seated dumbbell shoulder press. So, come on, come all the way down. Look how much more space that dumbbell is being pushed through. If you do 3 sets of 12 like this or 3 sets of 12 like this, you're going to get better results for the same amount of time with this. Maybe it'll take a tiny bit longer because you're doing more of a rep. Here's it from the front. Okay. And here's it from the front. Look at that difference. That's huge. That's a huge, huge difference. Let me know what you think about that. Now, in powerlifting, when they push their chest up and shorten the range, it's so they can lift heavier weight because they don't have to push it in as large of a range. That's fine. But for us, it's like, but we want to get strong and be functionally fit and also grow our muscles, right? It's like we're not competing. So the other one was a half rep push up. So basically, the point of me sharing these, ladies, is to just make you aware of the fact that there may be more range in your workouts and your lifts that you could be pushing through. And so I want you, when you're going through your lifts today, or who's lifting today, let me know. What are you doing? And who's lifting, when's the next time you're lifting? And just think about this. Watch yourself in the mirror. Is there more range that I'm missing out on? Why? Sometimes I think it's laziness. So this is a push-up. Arms to 90, right? I was in the army, so I'm sure that's where it comes from, but so great. So now this is a half push-up. It's better, okay, quality over quantity, always. Quality over quantity, always. Quality over super heavy weight, always, right? Let's train our womanly bodies to be strong and functionally fit and not take shortcuts, right? Now I did want to just show you. So we do a lot of push-ups in my programs because I love it when ladies are just fit. It's awesome. It feels good, right? To just be fit. So this would be the first modification. Once you go to failure, which is form failure, such as head down like that, or half reps, or head up like that, right? Scrunching your neck. Then I would suggest drop to knees. Get back into proper posture, just like we did the beginning of this live, and then finish on your knees. If you fail on your knees, put your hands on a bench and feet on the floor. Uh, Bryony, is it Bryony? I want to say that correctly. She said, my nemesis is push up. And I want to touch on this because it's easy to stray from things that are so hard, but how powerful is it to approach it head on and have it become our strong point? It feels really cool. Same with pull ups, ladies. Okay, great. The next one I want to show you is a hip thrust. So technically, a half rep of a hip thrust is called a CAS glute bridge or a CAS hip thrust, KAS. So I wanted to show you the difference, and then I'm going to come back to this one. So this is a full range hip thrust. Notice my torso is rock solid, and notice my chin or my eyes are forward. Taking my neck out of a neutral spine, I'm pushing my eyes forward. There have been research studies done on this, and it's called a scoot method. And the scoot method is at the top, eyes forward, and glutes are still coming up and tucked. So that is just shown to engage the glute maximum. That's why we do that. Okay. But a lot of problem that I see a lot of time is hold on. I'm pretty sure I showed you. Oh, there it is. So the problem is if you look at the torso, now my torso looks like this, right? It's kind of curved because my abs are no longer engaged, meaning my spine is no longer protected, right? So my spine is going to take some of the barbell load, right? Which is not what we want. We want to put the barbell load on our glutes, okay? And so what you need to do is exhale your air and squeeze your abs, pushing your ribs down to your pelvis. Get realigned, tight, lateral breath in, like we talked about. Then do your hip thrust, okay? Never let that torso bend or it's a risky position. Okay, if you have questions on a conventional hip thrust, let me know. And then here's a CAS. One sec. So this is a conventional hip thrust, full range, and here's a CAS. Half the range. And what it's doing is it's taking the load off of your hamstrings and it's almost turning it into a glute isolation exercise. I think both are great and both belong in a program. Great. Let me take a coffee drink. Is it Janique? How do you say your name? That's a beautiful name. Why do you hate the glute bridge? And Shannon said it seems to make it harder. Well, it could be because you're engaging the right muscles and taking away muscles that maybe shouldn't be working in that exercise. Working in proper posture, you may have to lower your weight. That's okay. That's a good thing. That's a good observation. I love that. Okay, great. The next reason why, man, you guys, I need to start hustling, I think. Yeah, here's a good question. Knee in 90 degrees. I like personally to stack knee on top of ankle, which is a 90 degree. If you bring your feet closer than that, it brings in the quad, which personally I don't recommend. I see no reason for that. If you bring your feet further away from a 90 degrees, so a more open angle. So here's your knee, here's your leg, here's your foot. If you bring your foot out to a more open angle, it's going to work your glute and your hamstring more. I tend to stick with the 90 or slightly wider than 90 because to me it's more functional, it's safe, and I don't know. I just don't really currently at this time feel the need to make those differences in the hip thrust for my clients. Okay, great. All right, so the next reason you may not be getting as good of results as you can is utilizing tempo. You may not be utilizing tempo. And who knows what tempo is? And yes, resistance bands can be great as weights, but of course, you can get better results in the gym. So I'll come back to questions because I want to stay on track for time. But who uses tempo? Let me know if you know what tempo is. Drop what you think it might be. Do you use it? Why? Why not? If you're like, what are you talking about? That's okay too. Nice. Good. Shannon, you're like, I know what it is. That's great. That's great. So yeah, and yeah, so you guys are recognizing, yep, it's timing. Yeah, someone said going too quickly, going slower, right? Yeah, absolutely. So never heard of it. How cool. I'm excited to share it with you. Yeah. Yeah. 4 count on the negative is killer. Yeah, I'm actually going to show you a 4 count on the eccentric today. That's cool. So tempo is utilized to change the stimuli that your body is experiencing, to change the stress on the muscle, to essentially provide a new stimuli, right? So if your body is used to doing something, changing the tempo is a great way to increase progressive overload because you're getting stronger over time. You can take your body through different stimuli and still be strong. If you do the same workout over and over, the same reps, the same sets, the same tempo over and over and over and over and over, you might be really effective and efficient at it, but you're not actually very strong or fit, most likely, right? Functionally, because do you ever lift at 5 reps, right? Do you ever lift at a 4020 tempo, right? So there's so many more categories that you can play with. All right. So I'm going to very quickly explain the numbers. Okay, so there's 4 numbers typically. I'll go with 1010, for example. The first number is eccentric. You're moving with gravity. It's the easier part of the movement. The second number is the transition between eccentric and concentric. The third number is concentric. So it's the hardest part of the movement going away from gravity. The fourth number is typically your starting position. So in a squat, the eccentric of a squat is going with gravity. So it's squatting down. The second number is at the bottom, right? You're holding it. It's the transition. The third number is the concentric, the hardest part of the movement, going away from gravity. So you're standing up in your squat, and the fourth number is your starting position. We're gonna have to have questions. Okay. This is a 1010. 1, 1, 1. I'm a little slow. It was kind of heavy. 1. This is, I think I did 3010. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Way harder. That's way harder than just squatting down, squatting up, right? Both are great. Both belong in a program, right? My clients, most of them, we go through 4-week phases. So they have the same program for 4 weeks and then I change their workouts, right? In one phase, usually, depending on the person, depending on the program, we'll do the same tempo for 4 weeks, every exercise. Actually, that's not true. There's a lot of clients that don't do that. Let's say some. It's the same tempo, right? And then the next phase, it's a different tempo. And then the next phase, it's a different tempo. So it's great because the first 2 weeks, you're getting a hang of the movement patterns, you're getting a hang of the tempo, you're just making sure, your form and technique are on point. Week 3 and 4, you're PRing, you're maxing out. Bam. Week 5, totally new program, new change, right? Central nervous system's like, whoa, what are we doing right now? And it repeats. So it's like constant body changes. It's great. Okay. And then here is a 4210. Okay. So 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, pop. So hard. So that second number is the transition. So I'm holding it. If you are a beginner, 3010 is a great place to start. It's a super slow and controlled movement pattern. Okay, moving on. The next reason why y'all aren't maybe not getting the best results is you're quitting too early, right? Just quitting too early. It's like, okay, cool. I did that. You're not tracking your weight, so you have no idea what you did last time. You won't remember it. You're like, oh, I remember. You will not remember every single lift ever unless you have a photographic memory. Okay, it's impossible. So track your weight. For my clients, our rule of thumb is if you can do 2 or more reps than what I prescribe in your programming with proper form, increase your weight. Okay. My intent was to show you a bunch of videos of me going to failure, but all these teenagers started coming in the gym, and I was like, they're just surrounding me, and I was like, I just can't deal with this right now. So I attempted to go to failure here. Um, so I'll explain to you this as this continues to go. Oh, yeah. So failure would be pushing hips up like that, pushing your hips up to get yourself to stand up. That's going to failure. Another way for failure for this is if your shoulders dropped forward. So you're not keeping proper posture in the beginning, right? So shoulders are dropping forward instead of back and engaged. Another one would be if you can't hold your abdominal pressure, if your belly's like moving all over the place. And I tried to show you that here. It was a little exaggerated. There's all those teenagers. Um, but my point is, if you're wiggling, if your knee is out wiggling around like that, you can't keep it in line with the direction of your toes. It's failure. You need to stop. And if your set is not over, lower your weight and then finish your set. And then mark that on your workout log. Okay. So anytime form breaks down, but if your form hasn't broken down, keep pushing. Keep pushing. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. And then I think we're getting close to the end of the videos. Okay. Why push as hard as possible? So why would we do that? It expends more energy. It creates more mental and physical resiliency in your mind. So you grow as a person and you grow in your body. You get better results. You put more stress on your muscles. You break down your muscles more. They have to grow more. You grow more muscle mass. The more muscle mass you have, the stronger you are, the healthier you age, the stronger your bones are, the more calories you burn at rest. Beautiful. Lifting weights keeps your skin taut. It really does. Okay, cool. Allison said, I struggle with my knee, or I struggle with lunges. It always hurts my knees. It could be form. It could be that you need to rehab your knees. Yeah, it's a common problem. Okay. Whew, ladies, I'm gonna pick up the pace. So actually the second one I was gonna talk about was making sure you stay injury free, but we actually talked about that this whole time. If you keep proper posture, you'll stay injury free. That easy. Okay. Um great. Okay. Just a couple of things here. Let me grab a drink. How you ladies doing? You still engaged? You feeling good? You ready for a little bit more? I strength train every other day. I spend the rest day being sore and tired. Am I doing too much or too heavy? Do you feel recovered for your lifts? That's the question. Good, Heidi. Good, Sandy. Awesome. I see some thumbs up. Yeah, I love it. Bring it on. Yeah, girl. Good. Okay, great, ladies. I just love it so much. You guys are so awesome. This is great. Cool. I am so glad I'm keeping it interesting. It's important to me because I want to get this info out to you guys, but I also want you to enjoy hearing it. Okay, awesome. Okay, so here's a few mindset patterns that I want you to, yeah, think about when you're doing your lifts. And the common issue I find. If you're doing a single leg squat, think about it as a single leg press. If you're doing a Bulgarian split squat, think about it as a single leg press. Excuse me. All right. The next thing I want to show you, this is incredible for anyone learning an RDL or a hip hinge pattern. You can do this with a broomstick at home. I send my clients this video all the time. Actually, I took this one yesterday. I literally take it for them every time. I need to just make one. um, so this will perfect your hip hinge pattern. It's amazing. So grab a broom. You have 3 points of contact and 2 hand positions. Your first hand position is palm facing away and in the small of your back. Your second hand position is palm facing in and at your neck. Your 3 points of contact are the top of your hips, your mid back, and your head, which I'll show you. Okay, top of hips, mid back, and your head. Then, oh, and ladies, make sure you are in your jump stance where you would naturally jump from. Make sure you are in your jump stance. That's where we row from. That's where we RDL and deadlift from. In most cases. In most cases. Okay. Right. And now do your hip hinge. All 3 points of contact should remain the entire time. I'll lose a point in just a sec. If you lose a point, it's instant feedback that you need to adjust your technique. Okay, so those were all correct. Now here, see, I lost the bottom. And so all you need to do is essentially rotate your pelvis or bring your chest up and it will reconnect that pattern. This is really good to make sure you're rowing from this position with strong abs because otherwise you could put the stress in your spine and we want to keep it in your back. Keep those abs engaged. Okay. Let me know. Awesome. Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions. I just had a question from Kathy. This is the first webinar I've watched. I'm new to the group. Do you put these on a regular basis? I do, yeah. So I typically do these at least once per month. In December, I take off, and sometimes I think Thanksgiving I take off. But yes, I do. I do random live videos as well, but these big master classes I'll do once a month. My next one, so you can always follow queensofiron.com and the event tab. I always keep that up to date. I have the whole year planned out, so it will always be up to date. And the next one is March 14th. So it's usually on a Tuesday. Cool. Okay, no problem. That's okay. If you guys need to go ahead and the replay will be available. Okay, and I'm gonna hustle. Great. Oh, here and then I just want to quickly show you the lateral raise. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. Moving at the shoulder, not moving at the elbow, just at the shoulder. Same movement pattern, different plane of motion, different plane of movement, right? This is a reverse fly or a rear delt fly. Okay, elbows not moving, elbows not lagging. Oh, yes. Okay, and then lastly, oh my gosh, ladies. Okay, I'm gonna actually run through this part quickly because yeah, www.queensofiron.com. QUEENSOFIRON. So I named it that because it's like a queen of iron of character, right? Integrity, like just high moral character, and a queen of iron, like barbells, weights. So I hope that empowers you. My slogan or motto is rise powerfully. Okay, cool. So I'll just share one other thing. Okay. So, and I will talk about coaching for those who are interested in coaching. I'll explain, what that is, what it looks like, and we can chat about that. But I want to lastly explain a couple things. If you're doing your own programming or, whatever, if you're doing that, here's a couple tips. So, and we've talked about some of these. So make sure you're changing tempo. Make sure you're changing rep schemes, right? The higher the rep scheme, so like 15, 18, 20, 30, 40 reps, it's more endurance style training. Great. I think most all, if not all rep schemes belong in programs, but it's where and why, okay? Doing sets of 5 is also great because that trains strength. Doing sets of like 3 trains power, right? We want to be strong in all areas. I don't typically have my ladies do power in terms of heavy lifts like that. For most of them, they just don't need it. They don't need the mental stress. Like they're busy professionals, right? Change your style of training. So do singles, do supersets, do trisets, giant sets, drop sets, 21s, right? There's like a million. You can even mix them up. B stance, staggered stance, right? Seated, standing, like really change things up. And okay, so one of my lovely, I love her so much. One of my clients asked me today, why do you have me do seated dumbbell shoulder press? And last time we did standing dumbbell shoulder or barbell, or whatever we did, shoulder press. Why did you change it? Like, what's the point? I love it. I'm like, that's such a good question. So when you're seated, your back is supported and your sit bones, your booty, your glutes is supported. Your legs are supported. So you're using less muscles, less stabilizer muscles. And so you can just focus putting on all the energy and all your strength just in your shoulders, pushing back against um, the bench. And you can typically lift heavier than when you're standing because when you're standing, more muscles are activated, right? You're stabilizing everything to stand there. So it works different muscles, it stresses the muscles differently. Same with a machine. If you're doing a machine shoulder press, it completely takes away your stabilizer muscles. And so you can lift heavier because the machine is doing part of the work for you, right? Same with seated. It's doing a little more work for you than if you were standing. Okay. The next thing is make sure you're tracking your weight. Like I already said, make sure you're lifting with intention, really pushing as hard as you can. Stop doing random workouts. I'll do 3 quick tips for creating programs. For most of you, you just don't have the brain power or the time to do this, and that's okay. It is a lot. Unless this is your career, it's a lot. But I still just want to share, partly too, so you can know my philosophy, but just to give you tips if you just love it and want to do it. I think that's cool. Okay, write 6 to 12-month programs at a time, right? None of these like week long, month long, because it's like, but what's your intent, right? What's the strategy? This allows you to see a bigger picture. Okay. Otherwise, yeah, I was like, otherwise it's a fly at the hip. You're just like, you need to plan. Same with macros, right? Everything needs to be planned. Decide the purpose of it and then backwards plan. What's your purpose? Is your purpose to bring your waist in, lift your glutes, and grow your shoulders so you have more toned arms? Awesome. Well, what exercises, what reps, what tempo, what rest, what strategy do you need to get there? And then program it, right? And then you'll get there. That's a great thing. It's like, and you'll just get there. It's great. Then you just follow it. Okay, cool. And then the next one is allow for flexibility. It's not an all or nothing approach, right? I mean, life changes, figure out plan Bs. That is a good thing about having a coach is you don't have to do the changing, right? The coach can do the changing for you. But also it's like just having someone there to support you, sometimes mentally, just support you, navigate through different challenges as you're trying to stay on track, but you're like, and it's like, whoa, okay, come here, so anyway, just allow for that grace. Okay, cool. Then the last thing I'll talk about is for those who are interested in coaching. Okay, so what I do here is it's really like a lifestyle of health, of wellness, and of fitness. So of course, macros are involved, right? I take care of your macros for you, depending what your goal is. We'll dig deep into your goal. I'll say, okay, based on your goal, based on how much time you have to train, based on what you're wanting, where you're at in life, here's the plan that I believe will get you there. Here's the macros we're going to start you on. Here's why, right? You're going to have more energy. You're going to see results every week. I like for ladies to lose about 1 to 1.5 pounds per week. The scale fluctuates all the time, right? So we go by measurements a lot. How do you feel in your skin? Where are you making progress in life? Sleep patterns, stress patterns. Are you doing breathing exercises, right? Are you taking care of yourself? And so it's so much like, let's bring your health, wellness, and fitness together to the next level while we create your dream physique. I have to have that. So anyway, yeah, with the macros. And so, I get you on the right track macro wise, but I'll also teach you through like, I don't know how to have balance in the day with macros. I don't know what foods are best for me. I don't know how to travel or how to be out of the house. Like, what am I doing? I help you with all of that. I come alongside you, and it's like a mentorship throughout the whole program. I do 6-month, 9-month, and 12-month programs, and it's so much mentorship. So whenever you decide to go, however long that is, you're equipped with all those tools that you can absolutely utilize for the rest of your life. So it very much is a health and wellness investment into your whole life, right? So, macro wise, logistically, anytime they would need to change, I would automatically do that for you. There's weekly check ins. So, you do measurements, weight, photos, and some lifestyle questions. So, I can make sure that your program is getting you the results you want, right? That you're here to get. But also, any area you're feeling really challenged in and just need some support, I'll see that in there as well. And so, I can come in and support you along that. So workouts, you can kind of see, my philosophy there. I definitely help women shape their body to be feminine, fit, just a body they feel really comfortable in, while also training functional fitness, proper posture, proper technique. Even though we're virtual, we do videos back and forth. It's so helpful. You just take a video of your workout. I can teach you how to be discreet if it's awkward in the gym. There's lots of different ways to be discreet. And we just go back and forth with forms. So I can help you so much in that area to feel really confident there. Cool. And then I'm also introducing yoga and breath work right now. It's wonderful. So this is going to be just about more mindfulness. Again, just encompassing total health, total wellness while we feel really good in our skin, learn how to take care of it. If you're interested in that, you can type coaching below. I'll reach out to you. I have 4 slots right now for February. I believe I'm going to take 4, maybe 5 for March. It is going to be first come, first serve. And so as that fills up, it will just turn into a wait list, but it will just be like, okay, this is the next start date that I have available. I do that to make sure that I can serve you to my max capacity, right? I only take the number of clients that I can handle because it's all about you. Like, I am here to help you and really be someone that cares for you along this journey and helps you get to that other side in a healthy and sustainable way that works for you. And so, yeah, it's great. It's a really great partnership and relationship with each other. And you'll be in our community that we're over in Telegram right now. It's great. We have different channels and different topics. So it's like our little private group, but then we also have me and you will have one-on-one as well. Okay, great. I would love to know your biggest takeaway. And just as a reminder, the 5 women who are most engaged from now until Friday at midnight EST, I'll gift you my course, my macros course. It is chock full of value of really how to become great with macros, how to make it easy. Okay. Hello, hello. No, so someone asked, Bryony, is that right? I think I asked you, but I want to make sure. Does being in the UK pose an issue? Nope. I actually said in the beginning. Right now, my clients are US and UK, so I work a lot in the UK. Cool. But yeah, share your biggest takeaway, and then I'll go through questions, you guys. Okay, so drop any questions below. But then I am actually gonna go. Let's see here. Let me take this off. Okay. I'm like, am I gonna get all the questions? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Drop any questions, ladies. So we'll go. This is like a Q&A portion. Anything you've been curious about? Yeah. I definitely teach a really healthy approach. I've had a tiny percent of women that macros wasn't for them because of eating disorder or just something. And that's okay. We can work around that, right? There are a lot of different mindful eating habits, that we can talk through. But for most people, it works great. Okay. Drop your questions. I'm still scrolling through. Oh, great. So here's this question. Sorry, sometimes on I'm on StreamYard, it won't show the name, and so I apologize. It says Facebook user, but many different diets, but can't maintain what I achieve. Yeah, yeah. The problem is you weren't taught the tools, and so whatever diet you did, whatever you were doing it through, a trainer or a program, we didn't learn the tools. And so that's fine. You need to learn the tools. And I definitely teach the tools in my program. That's the point, right? I want to educate you to empower you for the rest of your life. So you know these tools for the rest of your life. And no shame in that because it's so sad that most diets don't teach tools. They teach quick fixes, but it's not a fix. It's I'm gonna slap a band-aid around this and leave you worse than you were before. I'm like, that's not what we want, right? Okay. Um, I'm training for a Boston Marathon. That's amazing. That's amazing. Good job. But especially on long run days, I can't seem to get enough calories or protein in. What do you mean? Like timing or explain the problem? I can definitely help, but just let me know if you don't mind just what you mean. Okay. I can't see your name. So when you comment again, I will be able to see it because I have two screens up and just let me know for the marathon, this is issue. I love that. And finally developing the body I've wanted all my life. That's just amazing. Okay, let me check on here. Okay. So Sandra here. Sandra said, I learned that slower temper puts muscles under more work. Yep. Good job. Okay, cool. Sorry, ladies, you probably see me on the screen like, what else? Cool. Yeah, I got the thank you for posting the website. That's awesome. Okay, so I think this is a question. So 8 to 12 reps, start at the bottom when I increase weights and try to progress to 12. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Unsure of how many weeks I should be aiming for. Here, let me see if I can find that in here. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Okay. Oh, here it is. There we go. Okay. Unsure over how many weeks I should be aiming for 8 to 12. Some moves I don't seem to be moving very quickly up the weight, and others I'm progressing weekly. This is such a good question. I'm going to talk about the second part of your question first. You said some moves. I literally looked at the time. I'm like, how much time do I have to work out before my son gets home? um, so if you're not progressing in some of your lifts, something you can do is change where it's at in your programming. If it's typically in the middle of your programming or at the end and you're just not progressing and you want to progress in that lift, next phase, so next chunk of workouts, next block, put it at the beginning of your workout, put it at the beginning of your week. You have more energy, so then you'll typically be able to increase. You may be increasing the ones that are first or more compound lifts. Sometimes isolated movements take a little bit longer. Lifts with smaller muscle groups, like a lateral raise, right? It might take quite a bit longer. That's totally normal. Now, you can stimulate it in different ways, though. So, if you're doing a dumbbell lateral raise and you're just not progressing, you can do a like a single arm lean away cable lateral raise. So, let's say I'm holding the how do I explain this? So here's like a dual cable system, right? So if I'm holding one of the sides, here's the cable, and I'm leaning, it's hard though because I don't have anything to hold on to. And then you're doing it like this with the cable. It's more range, right? Because you're leaning, but also it's a different stimulus. And so that can help you progress. Doing a machine, right? Just adding variation. Doing 21s, right? 21s is 777. So like 7 reps at the hardest part of the movement, 7 full reps, and then 7 reps at the easiest part of the movement. Just puts a different stimuli on your muscle. Yeah. And then the 8 to 12. I would say that's such an interesting breakdown, 8 to 12. It's pretty different, those reps. Um, so I don't know. I would say, why are you doing 8 to 12? And then I personally just do 4-week blocks in most cases. So I would say 4-week, maybe 6. 8 to 12 is a pretty significant difference. So maybe you could even do a 6-week phase there. Okay. Trying to find my me time is hard. Yeah, it is. And what I recommend as much as possible is plan it in. Like I use Apple Calendar, right? Digital, and plan it in and literally keep as appointment for you. I love this question. McLean, is that how you say it? I love this question. I work with a lot of women who are either in menopause, right about to start it, or out of menopause. And 100% of them, I have found that they just needed to find what worked for their new body because what used to work no longer does. I say new body, that's a phrase that I use that just created because their body is totally different. It's totally different. Now they have all this excess weight in their belly and they're like, I've never had a problem with this before. Why is it stuck here? This sucks. And nothing I used to do works for me now. I'm so sorry. Almost all of you guys go through that. I've heard it so much. And it's really just finding the right macros and the right routine to get it off, to reshed that body fat. I personally put women who are in or post menopause on higher protein, sometimes higher fat. I'm still learning in this area. I'm definitely still learning in this area. Actually, one of the certifications I want to take this year, because I'm just at the end of yoga, one I want to take maybe summer or later, is hormones and menopause and all of that. So I can definitely answer more in depth at a later time, but I will say that I don't think it halts progress if you're on the right program. It's just finding what works for me now. Right. Good. Okay. I'm so happy that it's been helpful. That's just great, ladies. That's just great. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. And still going down. And any other questions? So here's a question from Nick. Do you have to go to a gym? Here, let me find it. Do you have to go to a gym or can home workouts be just as effective? I think that home workouts are great. They can be very, very effective. I would say probably 40% of my clientele works out from home. Depends on your setup though, whether it can be as effective. The benefit of the gym is the environment, right? You typically push harder. I know I do in the gym versus being by yourself. The other thing is if you max out weight at home, are you going to go get more weight, right? If you don't, then it's not as effective, right? Because you're not getting as strong. So I would say as long as you have the equipment, heck yeah. A lot of my ladies who work out from home, all they have is a set of adjustable dumbbells up to 52 and a half and bands. For the most part, that works. But a lot of times their deadlift and stuff, they just get too strong, right? But that's a good thing. So depends on weight. Okay. Um, yeah, thanks, Kristen. The body functioning together as one, yeah, is a great mindset. Yep. Cool. Okay, cool. Yep. Same question. Do you feel working at home can be just as successful? Yeah. You don't necessarily need machine, but do I think you can be as strong and all of that without a bar? No, I don't. I'm sorry. The mental resiliency working with a barbell brings is different than dumbbells. 100%. And you can't do as much in a hip thrust without a barbell, for sure. Not a Smith or Acro barbell. Okay, good. Yay. I'm so glad that you guys have loved this. That's so wonderful. That's so wonderful. Okay, cool. Cool. Sandra, I see you. Yep. Um, okay, I think that was all the questions. Okay, great. Ladies, thank you for being here. You guys have been wonderful. You guys have been so wonderful. I love your questions. I love your attention in terms of like attention to health, right? And fitness and just taking the time out of your busy day to learn these things. So I'm glad you found this valuable. I hope everyone has found this so valuable and you can take these tools and yeah, I see you, Rachel. Thank you. That's perfect. You comment coaching and I'll reach out to you. But take these tools and go apply them immediately. And if you're like, which one do I start with? Watch this video from the very start and get your proper posture and form and practice being in that position in every single lift. Cool. You guys are so great. Heidi. Okay, cool. Sorry, Heidi. You guys are so great. Have a wonderful day. I'm headed to the gym, and I'll see you later. Have a good day.